Warehouse and operations as a career. Swung by the Belmar Integrated Logistics Garland office this morning for a quick visit, and I caught Sharon and Ivan with a few minutes to sit down with me, so of course I grabbed the mics and took advantage of the situation for a bit. I'm Marty, and today we'll do a little follow-up on a few of the questions you've sent in over the last several weeks. I've actually got the people with us today that can supply us a few of those answers. As you all know, I'm a member of several job boards in Dallas, Chicago, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Colorado, and Illinois. I see so many individuals who I'm sure are talented within their tasks struggling with getting hired. So since I've got two recruiters cornered, let's maybe learn what we can do a little better. Good afternoon, Sharon. Welcome back to WAOC. We appreciate you sitting down with us at your offices today. How have you been, girl?
I have been doing very well. Thanks for having me again.
And today I met Ivan. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really well. I'm really excited to be on this podcast with you.
We're excited on having you on board today. Now, I hear you're kind of new to recruiting or sourcing. It feels kind of nice helping put people to work, doesn't it?
Oh, it feels amazing. Like just being able to give somebody their dream career, that's an amazing feeling.
I so agree with you, Ivan. I love when I can help an individual and get them started on their career path. So, Sharon, everyone needs to work. I mean, we've got bills to pay and we got to take care of our families. I know your main task is sourcing long-term or permanent positions. I don't get to do as much recruiting as I'd like to, but I do keep one foot kind of in the arena, hence why I'm a member of so many Facebook job boards. Something that I see all too often is someone answering an ad with something like, they'll just put the word info or DM me or ask that you message them back. With as busy as an agent is looking over like hundreds of resumes, should we be doing something differently?
Yes, of course. One of the main things that I believe that people can do when they're really looking for a job is that if they see a post on social media, most of us recruiters, we take some time to post on social media and then we'll get back to our task. Back to our computer, our desk, or interviewing in our office. I believe the main thing that you could do is pay attention to the post, the information that is provided, and use it. Let's say if you make a comment and you don't see that the recruiter or anybody, give you more information, you should gather phone numbers, addresses. Most of us recruiter, when we make a post, we actually provide the agency that we work for. We provide our phone number and also our physical address. So if you can just utilize, the information that is provided to you, you probably could get, faster answers and even, the results right away, sir.
That's a good point. Usually the information is provided. So I think what I'm hearing you say is if we're needing more information, maybe we should include more into our reply, or should we just stay away from the reply altogether and just maybe call you or go ahead and use that email that you give us?
Well, at times it might be it could be a better idea to just gather the information and use it, because also as recruiters, we are, as you mentioned, that you're part of many job searching boards on social media. So are we. We make the same post in 20 different groups, and we have 20 different groups, receiving replies and inboxes and everything from the other candidates that are also interested about the same position you're inquiring for.
Oh, I can understand that. I guess we really need to realize that it's not a chat board or something like that. You may not be looking at that again for a few days, I guess.
Correct.
Something else I've been talking quite a bit about recently is the importance of the resume. Is it really all that important? I think us as applicants, at least in the warehousing or operations world, kind of feel that, listing our work history is sufficient. Kind of pros and cons. Could you share some of that with us, Ivan?
With a resume specifically, it is very important to put a lot of hard work into your resume because it becomes the first impression. All we have is your job application, and that becomes your first impression. Though, if you had your resume, it becomes a better platform for you to completely label all of your skills, what kind of work history you have. We can build a better picture into what kind of person you have been and what kind of person you could be.
I guess you're absolutely correct, Ivan. We need to be sure to give you the tools and the information to where you can help us. Sharon, what do you think of our resumes? Are they all that important?
They are most definitely very important. We always have to think that the person reviewing our resume probably is going to spend about, for the first 20 seconds, it has to give them something. It has to give them something for them to keep reviewing your resume. The most important thing that we can do is make sure that our resume matches the position that we are applying for. Sometimes we tend to go in and out of an industry. And then let's say if you go and be a chef, that's fine. That's great because you're exploring, your skills and things that you want to do. And let's say you want to get back to the warehouse and operations. Your chef position that you had might not mean so much to the person interviewing you for, let's say, a order selector, a forklift operator. It might not mean so much to them. I'm not saying you should forget about your experience because you're trying to go back to back to an industry, but we should learn that whenever we're applying for a job, the resume should match the position. You might be just giving too much information and might lose their interest because they're seeing other things that they're not looking for.
I think it's all about catching the eye of the employer. And I do think that on your resume, with putting all that other kind of work experience, it just takes their mind somewhere else, and it's not what we're looking for, like what you've been saying.
Correct.
Very good. And it kind of cleared things up for me, actually. What do we need to know about that phone interview? That's really our first chance at a first impression, I guess you could say.
Yes. The first interview over the phone could be your chance to, whether you hear again from them to set up a face-to-face or set up a face-to-face while you on the phone, or, that's just a deal breaker. The first phone interview, if you're not giving, enough information, if you're not providing the information that the person on the other side is needing from you, you could be blocking yourself. I think I always say this, you're, blocking yourself from going in and, learning more about the position that you want. And sometimes, we could have someone with so much experience, and knowledge, and they're not providing that. And if you don't provide that information, we're not able to help you. We need that information in order to help you. I could have a position that I think you're good for, but because you're not providing all that information, I'm not giving you the actual position that could be, a life-changing, career, because you did not provide the information you have.
I do understand that. And I really try to recommend to everybody, look at it like you are selling yourself. Every piece of equipment that you've ever operated, every award that you've ever gotten, every job circumstance that you've experienced, share that on that phone interview, because we get that 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes to really convince you that you want us to sit across the desk from you and be interviewed for that job.
That's correct.
On the phone interview, you are, like Marty was saying, you're marketing yourself. You're putting yourself out there. It's okay to talk about all the kinds of good experience that you have, or all the things you've tried before in the past. The way you present yourself on the phone call is very, very, very important. Like, you should act as if you were right there in front of the recruiter, although it may be a little bit more informal. And I think that's where people make their mistake. They think it's way too informal.
Yes. When you're on the phone, your posture, your attitude, your tone, everything matters. If we call you and you're in a room where you're watching TV with your kids, it's okay for you to tell us, can you give me a minute, and just walk out of the room where you're going to give that person your undivided attention. It will be more appreciated if you did that and make the other person wait that minute for you to walk out of the room where there's the TV, the kids, and everybody else in there. And that way you just, pay attention to the questions, not only listen to reply, but also understand, and give them the information that they actually need to help you with that job that you are looking for. Because if you did not want the job from the beginning, you would have not applied for it.
I can really see that. It's our first, like I said a while ago, it's our first impression and it's our first chance. We have to make all the points that we can then. Is it okay if we are busy, or like you just mentioned, the kids are in the room or we're driving? Is it okay to ask, can I call you back after a little bit that I'm tied up right now?
Of course, most definitely. Sometimes it could be, over the weekend. I work on Saturdays, and some of my candidates, their request, would you be able to call me on Monday, or can I give you a call on Monday? Because right now, they're doing some type of family activity, and I understand that. I'd rather to do that than mess up the opportunity of helping someone the correct way.
Way too often I catch people off guard because we are calling them. So we understand it may not be the optimal time to, talk about these important things about the job and about your work experience. You can catch people literally while they're on a run or something, and you can hear the wind in the background, and we completely understand it's completely okay for you to say, hey, can I give you a call in 30 minutes or on this day? And that's completely okay. That's fine. Yes.
By taking an interview at the wrong time could give the other person the impression of you not being interested about the position. And it means a lot whenever the recruiter thinks you're not interested. Like, let's say if you're eating and you don't stop eating whenever, I give you a call. You're laying down, but you don't, you can't talk clear. I cannot hear your answers. It is way, way better to just, request either a call back or if you can call back.
And also, you actually following through and giving us a call back, to me personally, it does show that they are interested in the position. So that does put you a little bit notch higher than any other applicant in my book.
Very good points. I've talked a lot about how we need to present ourselves on the phone and really during that face-to-face interview on other episodes. I think, or I guess I feel that we should be confident and positive in all of our interactions. Am I off the mark here, Ivan?
No, I believe that positivity really does go a long way. By presenting yourself as this positive person, it can show the employer that you are interested in the position, and it'll encourage us to work with you a little bit more about finding you something that fits you best. Positivity really does go a long way.
Very good points. Sharon, let's say I've lost my job. Like I was just laid off like an hour ago and I need to be working. Exactly what should I do now? Can you kind of list out the steps for me? I've got to work.
The first thing that you need to do is think. Do you want to stay in the same industry that you just got laid off from? Or do you want to explore? After you make that decision, then when you are ready to search, you need to make sure the main thing is going to be get up early, even if it's going to be a minute before. I heard that this week. It's going to work by getting up early, going to grab the newspapers, whether it's the free ones, they actually have pretty good ads. Go to the job boards, whether it's on social media or, websites, the agencies, everything that you need to do, anything that do whatever it takes, to be employed. I say somebody should not be no more than, I'll say 72 hours without having a face-to-face interview after being laid off from a position.
Very good. So really, I guess we need to look at it as being out of work. That's our new job. We need to hit it. We need to hit it hard, and that needs to be our work until we're employed again. Ivan, do you have any parting words of wisdom or advice for our group's listeners, sir?
I think it's all about, when it comes to interviewing and looking for a job, it's all about showing initiative, showing that you are interested in the position. Be positive, be willing to work with the recruiter. Just try your best.
That's great. That's great. I want to thank the both of you for sitting down with WAOC today. As always, I've learned so much from both of you. WAOC is all about educating ourselves and developing us a plan to reach our goals, which is that long-term career. And I feel the best way to do that is by our guests sharing their experiences with us. We can just get there that much quicker. I really do appreciate your time immensely. Now, you both know I'm going to be reaching out to you with more questions, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. And of course, I want to thank each of our listeners for checking in with us this week. I hope you found some value in today's show, and I look forward to you visiting with us next week. Please email host at Warehouse and Operations as a Career with any comments or questions. I love getting mail. And maybe like and follow us on Facebook and Twitter, where we can be found using the little @ sign, WHSEANDOPS. And please don't forget to hit that little subscribe button on your favorite podcatcher app or iTunes or Google Play Music so you never miss an episode. Until next week, be confident, positive, and safe in all that we do.